Welcome, Sports Life Talk family, to episode 67. Roses really smell like poo, 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 poo. And actually, this is technically episode 68 because we repeated 66 twice. And why is it important to correct that? Because Mizz Paso, our amazing, beautiful host for this evening, that would make next Tuesday, Cool Kev, what? Episode 69.
Woo! I think it's going to be a little spicy next week then.
Well, I got to tell you, we have a special guest next week. And that is Kendra from Hot Girl Walk OKC is going to be on the show.
Yes.
Female entrepreneur. I'm sure she's going to have a comment about being episode 69. We'll see. I'll have to give her a little heads up so she's not, blinded by that. But yeah, pretty exciting. We're going to have a big crew on next week. So don't miss it.
That's going to be fun.
Yes, I'm so excited. She has thousands of followers on Instagram. She gets hundreds of females to walk every single Wednesday for Hot Girl Walk OKC. Oh. And she's a badass. And I just can't wait to have her on the show.
Okay, I love everything that you just said about her. So, yes, very excited. And where can we find her in case we want to stalk her before next week?
Yeah, so you can find her on Instagram, Hot Girl Walk OKC. And there might be an underscore in there, but if you just type in Hot Girl Walk OKC, you'll see it. Her logo's orange. It's cool.
I like it. Well, when I'm walking, I like to walk with a little bit of weight in my right hand. But this week, it's only water because I'm not drinking for Lent.
May we have a moment of silence because 2 of my roll dogs have given up alcohol for Lent, which means they have left me alone to drink and do this show by myself. So a cheers goes out to all of you who did not give up alcohol for Lent, because you can sip this amazing Pinot Noir with me from Rare Cat, our favorite female grower out of Napa. And this is a Pinot, and this is you. Cheers to you, Sharon. I mean, you don't know how perfect that was that you went away right then there in Mizz Paso.
I know. I hate this damn.
Yeah. So a moment of silence.
Yes.
5 seconds. That was good enough.
I was like, I don't know how long we're going to stay quiet for. Okay. Are we good?
Baseball Traveler said he's here with no alcohol, but because he ran out, not by choice.
Yes. Okay. Yeah, I think I'm all set back up. All right.
We're good, baby.
So now we're going to move into what I think today is going to be like a great, amazing day for this, but fact checked against the glass. Do you want me to start or would you like to start?
Well, I don't know. I don't care.
Okay. Let me start. You can see my bootleg green screen, because FYI.
You have a true, real fact check against the glass.
You said you do?
No, you do. Mine's actually not the greatest of all time, but it's the one that I chose.
Okay. 1 second. Say something to me real quick.
What's up, soldier?
Okay, there we go.
House.
Raiders. Okay. My fact check against the glass. It is and I'm pretty sure that Ken knows this story already. It's the greatest high school football game ever played. It's midnight in Irving, Texas Stadium, and there's 40,000 fans leaving the stadium because Plano East Panthers are 17, and the Lions of John Taylor are 40. I think it's like 41. Yeah, and so. They put their second string, defense team. They're like, whatever, we're about to move forward to the state championships. John Taylor was expecting that. Well, 3 minutes left to the game, and the Panthers score a 2-play, 70-yard drive, but miss a 2-point conversion. So now it's 41-23. 2 minutes and 30 seconds left. In the final minute, Green, a wide receiver stepping in for the usual kicker that got booted off the team, he executes 3 consecutive onside kicks and then a touchdown and a 2-point conversion. And now the score is 41-31, and there's 1 minute and 29 seconds left. Then another 6 plays ends with a failed 2-point conversion, but a touchdown, and brings the score to 41-37. 50 seconds left in the game. An extra point follows the Plano East Panthers with a final touchdown and a pass coming from just 3 plays, so only 24 seconds remain, and they're taking the lead 44-41. But in the final seconds, there's a twist. On the final kickoff, Green sends the ball super high in the air, and it falls in the hands of a John Tyler kicker return, Roderick Dunn, who already had failed on 2 other kicks, but he actually caught this one for a 97-yard touchdown. 11 seconds left on the clock. The only touchdown that actually he ended up having in his whole high school career was this one. So he's like a superstar for his high school. So John Taylor takes the lead back 48-44 in the final seconds of the game. Plano East, the Panthers get possession really quick for 2 plays, but in the end, the Lions win the game.
So not a greatest comeback.
Not the greatest, but I mean, greatest in a sense of, you know what? Don't leave the game because you never know what could happen. I mean, that had to have been super stressful.
Yeah, very stressful. They almost lost their shirts.
Yeah, exactly. And then they were both going into that game 12-0. So this was literally going for state championship.
Wow.
And this is in Texas, so you know how much we care about this stuff.
Yeah, I love that you brought a Texas story in. Mine also has to do with Texas, and it is not the greatest comeback in history. However, I always go way old school with my fact checks, and so I wanted to be a little bit relevant in the times. And so I'm going to go with the Lakers' largest rally in 21 years, which just happened against the Dallas Mavericks. So this is before the Lakers had this comeback. All teams in the NBA were 0-138 when trailing by 27 plus points. The Lakers were down by 27 points, came back to win 111-108 over the Dallas Mavericks. Hence why this has to do with Texas. So it is the biggest comeback in the NBA season this year.
Ooh, I feel like that's yeah.
I had to bring that in because we're talking a lot of basketball today. And
we really are.
We love LeBron, and we all know how much we all love Dallas. So
my least favorite team and my least favorite NBA player. Woo!
That was a good one for you.
Yeah, I loved it.
All the shade, all of it going to both teams. So yeah, I mean, we love Sports Life Talk, the OGs, the original gangstas that have brought us into this amazing podcast life, and they all live in Dallas. However, that's why we like to throw a little bit of shade every once in a while, because it is H-Town, baby, the Trillist against that city up north.
Bam, 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 bam. This is correct. Imagine, how would you feel if LeBron came and played for us? Do you think that would help us for the Rockets?
Yeah, definitely help us.
Well, I don't know. I feel like our team isn't ready for a superstar like that. I think we would still lose.
I mean, we had James Harden. We had an all-star team and supporting cast all-stars. And we made it to the playoffs multiple years in a row, but we still didn't pull it out. So didn't bring home a major W, did not bring home that championship.
Yeah. We did not.
Now,
maybe in the next 5 years.
And my favorite Rockets player, Eric Gordon, was traded. So I don't have anyone really to cheer for anymore. Green, I like him, but that's about it. I got to find a new player on the Rockets.
You're so much better than me because I know none of their names. None.
Well, Eric Gordon has been with the Rockets forever, and that's the sports brat's cousin.
Oh, that's right. So he's gone?
He was traded, yes.
Where is he at?
No, I mean, I knew you were going to ask me that. I don't know. But
somebody
yeah.
Google it for us.
Well, and I know that, I know some people that fly the Rockets, and they were really upset because they said that he's the nicest player on the plane.
Aww.
So shout out to you, Eric Gordon, in case you're watching.
Oh, I'm sure he's watching. This is his favorite show.
Oh, Clippers. Yeah, I think you're right. I think Cool Kev is right that he went to the Clippers.
Okay. Well, that's a good team to go to.
Yeah.
Good for him. They always send him to California. Let's talk about Damian Lillard. So, Damian Lillard became the first player in the NBA history to score over 70 points, 71, in under 40 minutes in the Portland Trail Blazers game against the Houston Rockets. What are your thoughts, Elena?
Yes.
Oh, wait. What were your thoughts about the game? Yeah.
What's important about that statement is that within 40 minutes, right? Because there's been multiple players. Actually, there's only been 8 that have scored over 70 points. And there is quite a few players that have done it many times. But within the 40 minutes, amazing feat by Damian Lillard. I feel bad for him that he's with the Portland Trail Blazers, but I love that he's with the Portland Trail Blazers because he says he'll never leave. And this guy's an impeccable player, and I believe that he deserves a ring, and he's never going to get one staying with Portland. But yeah, that was unbelievable. You know that. Oh, and also in the month of February, by the way, he's averaged over 30 points a game. And in that game that he scored 61, he had 13 3-pointers.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Like this year's record, which I think was 14.
So pretty much we'll see him next year at the NBA All-Star 3-point competition.
I mean, I'd put him in, put the man in. Some of those were deep too. I don't know if you saw the highlights or watched the game, but point of contention is that the reason it's called Roses Smells Like Poo-poo is because immediately after the game, he was brought in for a drug test and they took his blood. So he said afterwards in the when they're interviewing him, sorry, I just had my brain froze.
You're fine.
He was here, he was up, he was super high celebrating. And then the minute that they brought him in, he was down here. He's actually afraid of needles. He was like, I know I have all of these tattoos, but when somebody's drawing your blood, it's different when they're just scratching your skin with, getting needles. And he had a urine test the day before the game because they get tested all the time. The testing isn't what is the point of conversation here. It's the fact that he had already been tested the day before. And then the minute that he scores those 71 points, they bring him in and they do a blood test. And Twitter was popping off.
All the way.
My favorite one was, I didn't know that, performance enhancing drugs helped you make 3-pointers, right? Because that's still accuracy. It has nothing to do. You have to have a little bit of muscle to get it up there, but all NBA players have that muscle. So,
right.
It's not like me trying to shoot a 3-pointer these days after open heart surgery and ACL surgery. I'm like, ugh.
Right. So what's crazy about this too is that this was the first time that they started testing him. So he wasn't familiar. I mean, he was familiar that they test, but this was the first time in his career that they've done this, especially, being tested. But he's not the only NBA player that's had this encounter. There's been other NBA players that have had the NBA approach them as soon as they had a career highlight and say, you need to give us a drug test. You need to do a drug test. And this is where I think ethically we're going to start looking at the drug testing that the NBA has.
Unless you're white and Luka Doncic, then you don't get tested.
Right.
And there's no.
Yeah. Yeah, so we're about to see a big shift, I think, on this whole drug testing. Um, at my job, they do random drug tests. So let me tell you, I had a coworker who got tested maybe a good 10 times each month for his first year in our department. I mean, it was really bad, and he was the nerdiest, cleanest. Like, when I mean, drinking alcohol was just like a no-no for him, and we could never figure out why his name just kept popping up. But he took all the drug tests for our department.
All of them, but you never have to go. It's like, well, we already know who's getting called up. So,
Exactly. Yep. Yep. Cool, Kev. Yeah, I think that, yeah, they're gonna go ahead and fix that
oh, I
real
agree.
soon.
It's, and I mean, the NBA is showing their colors here, right? Because if you're going to test, and if you're going to do a blood draw for a player that has an exemplary game, you have to do it to all players. Like,
Yeah.
if you're going to put it in, if you're going to have a policy, then that policy needs to be black and white
Yep. But let me
and a
say this.
statement.
I will, okay, so this is what I will say. I think that it's better that they said this right when he finished the game than maybe the next day, just in case he decided to celebrate a little bit too hard.
Well, so they don't test for weed anymore. So that was a
Okay.
win for the players. So they have to be testing for PEDs. And again, in this type of situation, in basketball, in a team sport like that, I mean, this isn't Barry Bonds dropping bombs, home runs, right? This isn't a Sammy
Right.
Sosa type issue. This
Yeah.
is a game of finesse and skill to that level. So even if they were taking PEDs, I kind of am like, what's the point in regards to basketball? You're going to box somebody out a little bit harder? Like,
You can outrun somebody.
more endurance maybe, but
Yeah.
like, come on.
Right. All right, we got a guest. Let's go ahead and bring him in because I love to hear more about his opinion on things. Do you have an opinion, Eric, on this game with Damian Lillard and his testing?
He's like, bitches, I wasn't watching the show before I popped on. I have
I
no clue
literally
what you're talking about.
I literally just got home. Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. NBA randomly test people when they do well. Yeah, I mean, the reality of the situation is they all were doing stuff back in the day.
Yeah. Yeah, this is true. And it's documented everywhere.
I think we need to send Damian Lillard some shrooms or something and just be like, party on, Wayne.
Party on, Garth.
All right. So when we were talking about the comebacks, let's talk about a comeback that just happened to me and Eric's beloved school, Michigan State University. Iowa, well, okay, with 1 minute and 34 seconds left in the game, Iowa pulled off a miraculous comeback and they pretty much won. The score was 91 to, I forgot what. It doesn't even matter. We lost. It was it was one of those like, wait, what's happening? It was just like that Texas game I told you. People were leaving. They're like, yeah, we're good. We were playing at Iowa. So, Spartans are like, we don't need to stay in this stadium. This isn't our stadium. Yeah. And look what happened. We lost. Any comment, Eric?
So like there's a norm. Everyone has a norm when it comes to playing basketball, a norm for shooting and everything. And Iowa is a pretty good 3-point shooting team. So they're due for some positive shooting regression because if you look over their last couple of games, they had really struggled from beyond the arc. It just happened that all the positive regression that they were due for just happened in that last 90 seconds of that game. Because this was coming because this team isn't as bad shooting as they've shown the last couple of games. So I knew it was coming. I was actually going to bet Iowa, but I missed the 3.5 when it got up to 5.5, so I didn't bet it. So I kind of thought Michigan State was going to lose.
Wow.
Dang.
Wow. Way to have faith in us.
Eric, is there a podcast called Beyond the Arc?
I have no idea.
Because if not, you need to start it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love when you said that. I was like, ooh, that has a nice ring to it.
I actually like that name, Beyond the Arc.
Beyond
Well, the one thing that other than us losing, the one thing that I thought was hilarious was that Fran McCaffrey, the coach for Iowa, got really upset with the ref. And there was like this 30-second stare down with the ref. Like, the team's huddled and they're talking amongst themselves on like what the next plays are. And he's directly standing in front of the ref and with his arms crossed, just staring at him, right? And the ref is like, okay, dude, like, I'll stare back. So he's staring at him too, holding the ball like, okay, what? And so McCaffrey starts walking towards the ref. And the ref is like, seriously, are we really doing this? So the ref walks towards him and stands in front of him like, okay, let's do this. I'm so surprised that a tech did not come out or that he didn't kick him out that game. I mean, that was just super weird and intimidating.
Fran's a weird dude.
Well, yeah, I mean,
he's a weird, intense dude. And I mean, you can't really give him a tech just for staring at him, though.
Right.
He really didn't say anything. He didn't get up in his face.
But he walked towards them, not aggressively, but in a very like.
He took he took 2 to 3 steps, and then the official took 2 to 3 steps.
I mean, I love it.
I thought it was really weird, but like, Fran is a weird dude.
You see, if the ref was LeBron, there would have been a tech.
Are you a LeBron hater?
You didn't know this?
No.
I like him as a person, not as a player.
She likes his charitable efforts and the fact that he's a family man, but she does not like LeBron as a player.
No, I think that he's that guy that reads the playbook and says, guys, this is exactly what the rules are. And if you break them, then there's repercussions. It's like, shut up. It's not how we play. It's not how it's ever been played. But now we have to play by the rules because LeBron is playing.
Shut up, LeBron.
Exactly.
I mean, like, you have to think of it like this. Like, his basketball IQ, he is like so much smarter than anyone in terms of basketball. Like, he came in, he had minimal to no coaching in high school. He comes into an awful coaching situation in the NBA. And when you look at the other greats, like Michael Jordan had Dean Smith, Phil Jackson, Kobe Bryant had Phil Jackson. All these guys had great basketball minds.
Oh, Phil Jackson.
LeBron had absolutely himself figuring it out.
Wah, wah, wah. There's a whole bunch of players that did the same, so I don't care.
No, no one has done the same.
I don't care. I'm never going to be LeBron.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. But I think there are probably a lot of players that have had the same situation where they didn't have good coaching in high school and then came into the NBA with a bad coach.
Or even worse situations.
I'm going to write a list for you. And then as we talk about it next week, I'm going to cross them off because I like writing things down on a list and then crossing it off. And then I'm going to be like this, Eric.
Oh, wow.
Shots fired. Shots fired.
Now, my friend Elena gave me this pen and I can only use it at home. I can't take it in the office. So
I like that name, LaFraud.
She gave me like 6 of these pens. I got to show it on the show and that's it.
I like those pens.
Yeah.
Okay, really quickly, Elena, do you have a top 5 prediction for the March Madness?
Okay. So I'm torn all over the board on March Madness because I'm so pumped that U of H is still in first place or back in first place. But first place team never wins the dance. I don't think so. Like, I feel like they never win. And I don't have facts to back that up. I just feel like they seem to never win. So you go in with all of this, like, yeah, we're going to take it. We're number 1. And then they never win. But what I am most interested in is the matchup between the Purdue douchebags and the even bigger douchebags, the Indiana Hoosiers. I think it's 50-50 on who's going to the dance between that one. Eric, are you putting bets on that?
Oh my God, I have a ton of bets to win for March Madness stuff.
But who do you
When do you
have
start dropping those?
I've been
between the
dropping them all
Hoosiers,
year. I'm
between
sorry?
the douchebag Hoosiers and the Purdue bags? Who do you have going from that?
Who do I think can win it all? Indiana.
Indiana?
Yeah.
Those pinstripes back out.
Well, they're doing this without their starting point guard, who's supposed to come back soon.
Oh.
So, like, he hasn't been playing at all. Purdue,
Don't they play tonight?
Yeah, Indiana is getting boat raced right now by Iowa.
By Iowa, okay.
That's a situational spot because Indiana just beat their rivals, who are number 1 in the country. So you could kind of see it coming.
All right. Well, my top 5 is U of H, Kansas, Alabama, UCLA, and Marquette.
So you took Kansas out of there. Or no, you left Kansas and
I left Kansas.
Because the top 5 right now is Houston, Alabama, KU, UCLA, Purdue. Right? Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
I like Marquette in there. I almost went to school there. That would have been interesting.
That would have been really interesting.
That would have been interesting. I'm sad Missouri State Bears are nowhere to be found this year.
Do I get to pick 5? Is that what we're doing?
Yes.
We each pick 5 schools?
Yes, pick 5.
TCU.
Wait, we should write these down. Okay, hold on. Ms. El Paso, give me yours again.
U of H, Kansas, Alabama, UCLA, Marquette.
Alabama.
You did 5 out of the top 6.
Yeah, Marquette. I mean, that's
So?
okay.
Like, so? Don't judge me, bro.
Okay. Eric, who you got?
I will go Creighton.
So that's who's going to be going out of my conference, Creighton.
TCU. San Diego State. Miami.
Ooh.
And UConn.
Okay, let me pick mine.
If TCU goes in, that will be the craziest year for them. They will be like super.
And it's hard to judge them because their point guard Miles has been out for so long, but they have a point big, so they're pretty good and pretty under the radar right now.
Okay, I'm going to Houston because I got to. Drake
may not even make it.
UCLA, they might not, but that's why I'm putting them in. I gotta have some. I'll go UConn to match one of Eric's. 1, 2, 3, 4. And KU to match one of Misty's. Oh, no, she didn't do. Yeah, she said Kansas. Yeah. Okay.
All right. We will see what ends up happening later. So really quickly, celebrity gossip, so we can get into the money. Celebrity gossip. The Tennessee Titans were so mean to Taylor Lewan, and they gave him the X treatment. What does that mean? They pretty much, after releasing him the last week, and he's a 9-year vet, they savagely dropped all of his football equipment at his front porch and was like, here you go. He posted a picture of it, and he posted it on Twitter on Monday, showing 3 garbage bags on his doorstep of all his stuff. And he put on his Twitter, he put, shout out to the Tennessee Titans, dropping off my stuff today. They even let me keep my shoulder pads. And yeah, after 9 years, this is how they say thank you for your service.
Damn. That is
right.
I mean, I'll say no comment about Taylor.
Oh, allegedly there's some stuff.
No comment.
Well,
okay.
But also, I would like to address the Drake judgment that I just got from Eric.
Yes.
I have to pick a Missouri Valley team because that's my conference. And so that's the one I'm picking.
Okay. Respect.
Okay. I hope that I get to hear this Taylor Lewan story off grid, like off air.
Allegedly, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Can we do a show that's just allegedly, and we just spew gossip, sports gossip, and say allegedly in front of every single line?
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
All right, let's get into the money because we're running out of time.
Tonight it starts in a little bit. Ole Miss plus 5.5. Just a situational spot. Texas A&M, all they get their points on is offensive rebound and going to the free throw line. Ole Miss is good at limiting opponents' rebounds, and they don't foul that much. So I really like Ole Miss here plus the 5. Offenses looked a lot better since they made the coaching change. Tomorrow, I like Charleston Southern and High Point for their first half under. Both these teams play at a slow pace. It's the first round of their conference tournament, so these kids tend to be a little bit nervous. And this is always an angle I like to do. And then Saturday, Michigan State, excuse me, against Ohio State. Izzo is 65% ATS in the last game of the season when he's at home. And Ohio State has huge major issues on the basketball court instead of scoring and defending. So I like those 3.
And we can definitely say it because Buckeye Britt is not here.
Go green.
Go away.
All right. Elena, what's our players' anthem?
All right. Our players' anthem for this evening is Pink Floyd Money, because even though Damian Lillard is going to be at Portland for the rest of his life, at least he's still getting paid. And also Pink Floyd Money because of drugs.
That's a good one. I like that one. Okay.
And real quick, before we end, I want to thank everyone for coming out to Circle Chair Sessions at the Foundation Room House of Blues for the past 3 weeks of April, and the About Time release party that we had on Saturday night, which was tons of people. It was packed. Thank you for all of your support. Please go follow Live Music HTX and subscribe to Circle Chair Sessions on YouTube. And then a big announcement for March 17th. Irish Pub Keneally's is having their huge block party for St. Patty's Day. And Live Strangers and the Monicas and a bunch of DJs will be playing from 1 p.m. until 11 p.m. Non-stop entertainment, music. Tito's is a sponsor. Jameson is a sponsor. There's going to be shot girls walking around. It is going to be a huge party. And then for the first time in a long time, because they used to do this, they are also having their party on Saturday. So if you miss Friday because of work or some reason, you've got a second chance on Saturday to go to Irish Pub Keneally's for a bunch of DJs. So they're doing a ton of DJs that day. And it's all curated by yours truly.
Yay!
Just the music. Our dear friend Monica and her mother and her sister they're blowing this out of the water this year. It's going to be huge. And she's gone.
Oh, and she peaced out.
So I had a moment of silence earlier, Eric. And the minute I said, can we have a moment of silence for those of my friends that are not drinking alcohol in observance of Lent, she immediately went away. So it was like this perfect moment of silence.
Eric, what's going on your show tonight?
Jack from the DRF Sportsbook, him and I are just going to talk college basketball. Some bets to lock in, some futures, and about the weekend that was.
Awesome.
The weekend that was.
Yeah.
Is there going to be some allegedlys in there too?
I'm going to talk about how bad Arizona is at coaching and their situational awareness and some other stuff.
Yes. All right. And where can they find you and tune in?
Etoff 21 Sports on YouTube.
Cool. Elena, take us out.
That's right. Don't forget to watch our homies tomorrow night, 8 p.m. Central, SportsLifeTalk. And we will see you all next week when we have Hot Girl Walk OKC on the show.
Yay! Adios!